Okay, so today is the ribbon cutting ceremony for All of the Above Hip Hop Academy. Basically, after 12 years of bouncing around all over the city and setting up shop, we finally got our own spot. So we're gonna be holding classes here, events here, and all type of different things. So we got things in the works. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
The vibe is awesome, man. What it is All the Above Hip Hop Academy. For the most part, it's not just about the music. It's about teaching the youth about the origins and everything that it comes from. And in the same aspects, it gives the youth something to do. You know, it's always, even when I grew up, it was like not really a lot to do, not nothing to get into, not nothing that was positive. So this is a positive outlet to teach the kids about the music business, about dancing, about graffiti, about the actual art of hip hop, and it's just an all-around positive vibe.
The vibe is celebratory. I mean, this is a dozen years of pounding the pavement, building trust in the community, offering the best programming we possibly can, and keeping our integrity as a hip hop cultural resource in the city. So it's been about slow and incremental growth. We didn't want to blow up and blow out of here just as quick as we did so. And so today is really a celebration of longevity, staying the course, building trust, leveraging our resources and tools and skills and abilities to really build into the infrastructure of the capital city through the culture. So the vibe today is extraordinary because it feels like it's a big W for everybody. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. The short story is I'm an artist first, and I was a self-employed, independent artist for a long time who was afforded some opportunities to teach and instruct and engage in academia through my knowledge of hip hop. So becoming a teaching artist in Detroit public schools. While I was living in Lansing, I realized that there wasn't anything like that in Lansing. So essentially what we wanted to do first was to start a residential program using hip hop artists to go into the schools. And that didn't take off. I think this was the same year that they were pulling the arts education funding out of the schools, back 2009, 2010, something like that. And so we started some after-school programming. We started some summer programs. You know, as I was kind of making a transition as a touring and traveling artist, living in Lansing and wanting to be home with my family, I was like, well, what do I know? I know hip-hop, I know the culture, and I know there's young people who want access, who want to learn, who want to develop, who want to figure out, how to develop and grow as artists, but furthermore as contributors to society. So we started holding spaces that were really kind of centered on teaching and instructing, but almost equally engaging in talks about life and growing up and our trajectory in our lives. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to sum it up, but essentially, this is birthed out of a need to serve our community in this capacity. There was nobody else really doing it that way. So we stood up in the gap, raised our hands and said, we'll do it, and here we are. And we've been pretty transient for the last 12 years, and now we have a brick and mortar by which we can, teach classes and open it up to adult classes because we've been centered on youth programming for so long. But now we'll be able to offer adult programming. We'll continue to be able to hold events here, but essentially it'll be a beacon and a meeting point in hip-hop culture for transplants like me who are trying to find their tribe and are trying to figure out what's going on, getting a pulse for what's happening in the city through the arts. We get to hold that space. So long-winded answer, but that's essentially the most nutshell I could give you. And I can also add, let me add also too, so a big part of what we do is it's one part cultural preservation, but it's also equally dedicated to the advancement of hip-hop culture. So yes, we bring in elders who have context as to where the culture came from and how it was built, but we also have young people who are responsible for where it's going. And so if we can create spaces for this multi-generational, pedagogical, relationship and instruction and culture and community building to occur, then we're stronger for it. You know what I mean? And we get to be a part of that, and it's just the greatest honor. You know what I mean?
If you go to the website, you could give donations, you could support in any type of way. If you have children, we're always looking to bring kids in the community into what we do and teach them. Like, we don't just teach them hip hop, we don't just teach them how to break dance and how to rap or how to MC or how to make beats or DJ, but we teach them life skills too, how to be leaders out here in this community. So yeah, all of the above, hiphop.org. Peace.